50, the Druid who wild growths wins, even against double innervate.
Well, that is quite a big stat right there.
Yeah.
Well, now he's got a choice.
Yeah.
I still think you charge.
I think you charge. But if your opponent plays Yeti next turn, you're feeling a little bit sad about it.
You got an 8 points of damage. I'm feeling good about that.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Charge Druid of the Claw right now?
Yeah.
No, that's silly. Next turn he does a swipe.
I'm okay with that.
Oh my god. You just waste 2 cards for nothing. 4 damage.
You also pulled a swipe out of your opponent's hand, and you maintain initiative, too.
You would go Harvest Golem then, Tides?
Yeah, Harvest Golem for sure.
And what are you saving the innervate for at that point? Just a later on play that's...
Lore, maybe a big play. He runs... Oh my gosh.
Well, it's Gnimsh.
Okay, at least it's not form.
Oh, no.
Wow.
That is really
There's
bad
an
news
innervate
for
right
Gnimsh.
there.
Yeah. Well, he doesn't know that he has innervate Black Knight. That doesn't happen very often, but yeah. If he played Druid of the Claw, I don't agree with
Oh,
charge
gosh.
form. That's just unfortunate.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think you would ever imagine that sitting there on an innervate and a Black Knight, especially, Gnimsh probably thought, okay, this is what Amaz has seen. I'm playing Token Druid a lot. I charge a lot. He's probably not going to keep that in his opening hand.
And that's also why I'd like to play Golem over the Druid. Like, you can't do anything against the Harvest Golem, whereas you can do something versus either Taunt Form or Charge Form Druid. Easily.
This is looking like insanely Amaz favored right now, I have to say.
Oh yeah.
Like
the Karen even.
God. Just brutal.
At this point, I think it's over. You can't taunt. I don't see any point to taunt it up. What's the point of taunting it up? Like, what's 2 extra health going to do?
Well, it was stopping the swipe.
Sort of. I mean, you get in 4 damage that way, and your opponent attacks it with a minion and then uses something else.
It's more likely that he has swipe than he has an innervate Black Knight.
I'm not going to debate that. What I'm debating is the value of the damage. I'm gonna put this one out there for a little bit. I have about 3,000 Druid games played.
Me too.
Between a bunch of accounts, and I also have about a 70% win rate with it.
Wow.
And most of my matches that I win,
I guess that's why it's number 1 deck here.
Are the Druid mirror. It's just like you just charge. The person who maintains initiative and maintains damage is the first person who gets the Force Nature, and the first person who gets the Force Nature is the one who wins. And the way you force your opponent into taunting is by being aggressive. There's no reason to taunt the Druid of the Claw if your opponent doesn't have pressure on the board, and that's how you force a Black Knight. Gnimsh sacrificed everything when he played this Druid of the Claw in taunt mode. All he does is start to develop. At that point, developing Harvest Golem is way better. But if he charges it, is that he forces his opponent to swipe, and then he maintains the initiative.
All right, well, that is 1 extra lost card, though, I think is the main part that hurts a little bit. But that being said, I mean, what does Gnimsh do here? This is such a terrible spot that he's in. Like, what's killing me is that there are 2 Ancient of Lores and a coin in his hand. So, like, the next 2 turns very well could be Ancient of Lore, draw 2 cards.
This is a really brutal spot to be in. I don't think there's any doubt about it. This is probably his best option, but it's like your opponent has they have such efficiency here. Oh my gosh.
I don't think you even use that. I think you
I
go.
don't think you do
You
either.
go Ancient of Lore here.
I just go Karen and you just start attacking.
I go Karen, yeah.
Yeah, there's no reason to try to trade with your opponent at this point. You just race.
Yeah, no, I would definitely be attacking face. It's just, I guess, the question of the Ancient of Lores versus the Cairn. Maz thinking it all out.
The other thing you can do, too, here is if your opponent decides to race you back and they start doing that in such an inefficient way that their hand gets so empty, you can actually start healing with the Ancients.
That's true.
And it kills their race potential, and then you just trade them down, and now they're choked out of the game.
Yeah, he has an unbelievable amount of value in his hand.
Yeah.
He doesn't need the lore for the draws.
All right, we'll see if he does agree with that and go with that Karn. He's, I think he's the only Druid deck we've seen playing Karn this weekend, by the way.
I'm very surprised that he chooses Azure Drake.
That's like the one play I strongly disagree with. Any other play I would have been okay with.
Yeah, I think that's probably the weakest of his plays.
Well, he's seems like he's so far ahead at this point.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
The only reason I can see playing this Azure Drake over the others is when Gnimsh responds with an Ancient Allure here. Yeah, he sets with a swipe.
Yeah.
But even then, it's like you could just hero power.
Yeah, you could.
Yeah.
Well.
Wait, Gnimsh doesn't
like
even have 7 mana. Gnimsh doesn't even have 7 mana.
I know.
Yeah, I don't understand the swipe at all. Or the Azure Drake, rather.
I guess Force of Nature here.
That does trade
yeah.
with an Azure Drake.
It does overtrade with an Azure Drake, actually. I mean, yeah, you can take out the 2/4/4s, have a 2/1 left up against a 3/3, but...
Let me ask you this. Do you think Swipe and Power of the Wild's better?
Swipe and Power of the Wild.
Like, you swipe one of those minions,
attack the Golem into the 3/3.
Yeah, and then power the wild for a 3/2.
I mean, that's okay. It kind of clears up the board, right? And with the types of plays Amaz is making, he's probably not going to waste his time dealing with a 3/2.
I hate leaving a Zerdrake up. If he has Wrath in his hand, he just gets free draws. And of course, Swipe is extra devastating.
I think he would swipe specifically that. But yeah,
Yeah,
it looks like
I
he's
don't
going to
mind
that play. Doesn't seem too bad.
It's okay. Yeah. But he takes 4 extra damage this way. Oh, okay, never mind.
Yeah.
Time waits for no one.
Well, I think, yeah, he has to play that for the 3/2.
All right.
Oh!
Did
Whoa.
not expect that.
Oh, he keeps the Harvest Golem token. That's actually pretty good.
Well, he would have had the token plus a 3/2.
Oh, well. This is why I don't understand not playing the Cairn, by the way. It's like, if your opponent killed the Cairn, you get a Cairn.
It doesn't even matter.
Yeah.
Well, it's a Bane, actually, but yes.
You would have a second token on the board. And like he wouldn't have to waste time dealing with this Harvest Golem token. Which I don't even know if he deals with. I still think you can kind of ignore it.
Well, looks like he is going to go ahead and deal with it. Doesn't leave him like really great plays after that.
Now, since he wrathed last time, do you just wrath again? Like,
I don't like it because he's like just
No,
keeping
just
one
keep it
minion on the
growth.
board.
Yeah,
Get a unit
what-
on the board.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's his second Wrath.
I just don't know why he would like you need another minion on the board. It doesn't make sense to like let him clear you out and then not play more the next turn. He's like desperate on the way he's clearing.
Yeah,
Okay,
I agree.
there we go. One thing to note, his Ancient of Lores might sit in his hand if Gnimsh has answers for his current board. Because they're high cost and he can't really play anything else with them.
Yeah.
But it doesn't look like Gnimsh has any good plays.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
That's every turn.
Yeah.
There's no good plays.
The game,
Since the Black Knight.
He can start.
Yeah.
Like, he can like deal with stuff, but what ends up happening is he has to commit all of his resources to it. So then he gets. This is what happened in the other scenario where we were talking about, where if he got in a race scenario, he could just Ancient to heal. The exact same sort of thing is happening. He just except he doesn't even have to use Ancients to do it. He just has to commit all his resources to clearing, and then he's choked out of the game because Amaz has more cards naturally.
I mean, here do you just hit the Black Knight with your Keeper, play the Golem, and hero power with the Innervate?
It's probably the best play, but that's a lot of stuff to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's well, you got one card left in hand, but at least you now control the board, right? kind of, barely.
Yeah, kind of.
By one Harvest Golem.
Got him.
Board control easy.
For the wild.
Yeah, so part of this problem here is that he's going to have to use Force to maintain his board, and now he's losing a lot of his reach.
Well,
Yeah, when your opponent Druid opens with Wild Growth and then innervates Black Knights your Druid of the Claw, yeah, you're
It's-
going to be...
It's almost impossible to
Yeah,
recover from that scenario. It's like the most brutal thing you can think of.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Well, right now Maz deciding in which way to make Gnimsh very sad.
Here's another reason why he shouldn't play this Azure Drake, by the way, is because now he's stuck with just all of his development cards in his hand. He doesn't have any utility left, other than just like the fact that he's drawn this swipe. I'm sorry, he's drawn these 2 Wraths in a row. Like, if he had Azure Drake's sort of like a utility spell here, because he can dig for stuff and then have mana left over.
Well, looks like I didn't see this being used. The Wrath.
Was he waiting for Keeper to play Cairn?
No, I don't think so. I think no. I mean, I could see a player doing that, but I don't think he's saving that for that.
Okay.
Like, I think the Karn still would have been a better play than Azure that turn for sure.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Because it's a 4/5 at least, right?
Yeah.
Worst case.
Then he spends 4 mana responding to it, and yeah,
Gosh.
it's a,
Look, that's not the draw he wants right now.
Whoa, it's a combo. Hero power, attack face with both, pass. Sick turn. Yeah. That hurts.
Honestly,
And with the Karn out, like this,
with
God,
the,
you can't even clear with the combo now.
with the way this game is rolled in Gnimsh's position, I wouldn't even want to sit here and lose this game. There's no reason to like sacrifice your mindset. I literally would just concede this game and go into game 2 with a fresh mind. That's honestly what I would do.
I think that Gnimsh is someone that stays really calm.
Okay.
And he's really collected and stuff, and like gaining more information about the Druid deck, and the possibility of like drawing the right card next 2 turns and like maybe some, you know, it's like the 0.1% to win. Well.
Yeah, I can see the possibility of more information.
Yeah, the thing is, I always like to just stay in the game till I die just to get information. It's like, you might see one card that you weren't sure of, and you're like, oh, okay, I need to play around that the next game. Well.
He has one play. So, just waiting on the ancient boy.
Yeah, I mean, he could swipe face and hero power down that
Oh,
keeper.
yeah, genius.
Bam.
It's a good move right there. Oh, man.
I'd just Mark of the Wild here. I mean, he has one card in his hand. Just get the extra damage off, finish the game off. And maybe he wants to hide the Mark of the Wild.
I was about to
like
say
the
this
information thing.
I was just about to touch it. This is exactly what Gnimsh wants him to do, too.
Yeah. Get that card out of there. Because, of course, Gnimsh knows like basically what the deck was that he played last night, and he could have seen that there was one last night. But with the decks being able to be resubmitted, there is a possibility that's not in there anymore.
Did Amaz have Mark of the Wild last night?
Yeah, I believe he had
Oh,
one.
okay.
I'm pretty sure.
He's on the Black Knight.
Yeah, he did because he Black Knighted with.
Oh,
okay.
yeah, that's right. He did Black Knight the Fire Elemental with that.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Not the best draw right now.
Solid.
I think right now Gnimsh is just thinking like, should I just leave this game? Because
Yeah.
I don't care how cool you are, this hurts.
Yeah, and seriously, when you're in the top 8 of an event like this, and it's this important, there's no reason to sit here and lose. I really believe that.
I do take the counterpoint though with like Gnimsh, and I think like myself as well. I wouldn't really get rattled in this situation. Like, so like, yeah, I'm dead, but I'm gonna maybe he'll play a card. Like we saw actually Reels mess up like that, where he played the second Blade Fury when he didn't have to, and that was like that's a big piece of information.
If you're the kind of player that isn't gonna ever lose your cool, I think it's fine to do this. But I know a lot of good players who claim that they're immune to that sort of thing, and they're really not.
Sure,
And,
totally.
Yeah, and I'm one of those people. Like I'm not immune to that sort of thing. Like I can get frustrated.
You're a very emotional guy.
Yeah, I can't help it.
That's okay.
I just have to express myself. Well, he may have gotten a little extra information he wanted.
Hey, still 1 health left. Oh, never mind. Dead.
Nice.
All right, that was really one-sided after that Black Knight.
Yes,
Yeah.
That just tells you how big of a swing that play was.
That was crazy. You know, everything could have been different, perhaps.
Yeah, an innervated Druid of the Claw, taunted into an innervated Black Knight. That's going to win you games, guys.
Yeah, seriously. And that Black Knight lasted 3 or 4 turns after that.
Yeah.
The amount of mileage that Black Knight got was crazy.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
I mean, I guess any play would have been better than that, unfortunately, for Gnimsh.
I don't think he even needed the Black Knight after the Wild Growth. And he had 2 Ancient Solar. Like,
Yeah. The Black Knight, it was just like, it was a blowout. Was
Yeah,
what it
it
was.
made it
It was
a
like, it was like,
it wasn't-
yeah, we can kick a field goal, get a few points ahead. They have a minute left on the clock. And instead they were just like, oh, touchdown and recover the onside kick.
They slam dunked the football into the golf holes. What happened?
Yeah.
oh, man.
Well, okay, Amaz goes up 1-0 against Gnimsh.
Gnimsh,
And what is he going to run in game 2 here?
he's got Shaman and Rogue. What are you thinking, Tides?
Shaman and Rogue, again, are both pretty equal against all of Amaz's decks. I'd probably go with Rogue, personally.
Okay.
Pretty much what we've been seeing.
Because the Hunter, right? You don't want to go against Unleashed
We
Hounds.
haven't seen his Hunter yet, so it's hard
There
to
it
say
is.
what he's playing, but I would imagine it's Aggro Hunter.
Yeah.
Well, there's the Rogue
I
and
think-
another innervate for Amaz.
This has been sort of a trend the whole weekend, is that players needing to 2-0, and they don't want to like win the first game in an advantage and then like lose the second game at a big disadvantage.
Yeah.
Tides, what do you think about this matchup? Rogue versus Druid.
I think the Rogue is probably favored 60 to 70% depending on each dex. In this particular one, I'd have to look at the list for a bit, and I can get back to you.
More of a
Looks like
traditional.
one Azure,
mid-range.
no Assassin's Blade.
Oh, you're talking about the Rogue. Yeah.
Yeah, it's one Cold Light in there.
Look at
Nothing
this
too
hand.
weird.
He's going to innervate a Yeti
Oh,
out.
look at
Turn
this.
1.
It's pretty good.
Starting out strong.
Yeah, 5 health. Going to be a little bit annoying for Gnimsh to deal with right now, especially when you don't have that coin.
Wow.
Yeah, this
Gnimsh
is
has a really bad hand.
Yeah, it's a bad hand, indeed.
With these lists, I'd actually give the edge to Gnimsh in 60%, but obviously not with these hands. Because he's running 2 saps, and
The Cold Light Oracle.
yeah, Cold Light Oracle. And basically, Amaz has a couple dead cards. Mark the Wild. What do you? Faceless Manipulator, Black Knight. Karen is kind of dead against Sap a lot of the time. And Rignos is good, but it's very slow. So.
I'm pretty sure when your opponent doesn't sap this Chill Yeti that you jam this Mark of the Wild on here and start going to the face.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good play.
That was what I was gasping about, is that now he's on a major clock.
Yeah, 6 a turn. That's pretty brutal. Oh, man. Oh. I mean, do you play that or do you cycle through this Fan of Knives? I guess that's the only question. Tides, what do you do there?
Prep Fan of Knives actually isn't that bad because he can follow up with Fast Agent, and he might draw one of his 2 saps.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he really wants to stop this, and his best chance of winning might just go for this right now rather than take another 6.
Yeah.
But yeah, unfortunately, he didn't get one of his 2 saps. It's like going against a Van Cleef when you don't have sap, basically, right now.
Well, he dropped SI, just hit him for 2 right there.
I think you have to.
God.
I think so.
This is so gross.
Brutal.
And he's still at 4 health. It's like there's still no clean way to clean him up next turn.
What do you think about Earthen?
I don't like it because you've already comboed this turn.
Yeah.
I think you have to play that side. You just gain the health later.
So right now his outs are like Eviscerate, Sap. Shiv is not too bad with a 3/3 on the board.
Yeah.
So he has a couple outs right now, but he's going to take another 6 damage. And he got a Wild Growth, and now he can do a Zerjake. Oh my god, that's so brutal. Maz has had very good hands, and Gnimsh not so much.
Oh, man.
I'm actually sort of surprised at how important this Wild Growth draw is. Like when I'm looking at his hand again, like this Wild Growth is such a huge draw.
That's right. Yeah, he's going to be able to Azure next turn off of that.
Yep.
That's nice.
Yeah, he'd basically have a dead turn next turn if he didn't top deck.
Well,
Hey.
That's a little late. I mean, he
it is
took
a
12
little
damage already.
yeah, it's a bit late, but now he might have a chance to climb back into it.
You know what? Well, that's. I don't think so, but I mean, I guess he saps. The thing is, he only has 2 mana left, so he re-daggers after attacking. It's like a pretty weak turn still.
Yeah. And wasting a sap like that, you never want to do that on 4 HP as a rogue.
Can you take the damage?
No.
Can you go down to 12 right now?
I guess
And lose your SI?
the Druid has 3 cards. He could YOLO it, but
I don't like it. It's just like.
I think you have to sap. All of his plays are bad at this point.
Yeah.
Like this is turn 1 Yeti.
into
This
Mark of the Wild.
Yeah.
Into Mark of the
if it's
Wild.
uncontested, you are for 2 turns. You're not gonna. I don't think you're gonna lose.
All right, he's going to go ahead and sap. I think this is slightly better than YOLOing it. Hey. At least he had some damage on the board.
The problem right now is, okay, Amaz obviously is going to play at least a Yeti, right? And he doesn't have a preparation or a backstab for his Auctioneer, so he can't cycle through his deck, which is exactly what he needs right now. Maybe if he draws an Eviscerate or something to remove the next creature, and then like into a Zerjake, he really needs to get really good top decks at this point.
What could happen? Gnimsh has been known for having good top decks in the past. Just Azure into Azure. Whatevs. Oh, look at that.
Got the Eviscerate.
Wow.
Not
That's
bad.
really good.
Okay,
Gives him the board control.
Yeah, this game is now able to turn around.
It is. It's a possibility. Earthen Ring of Vis, attack.
Yeah, now he doesn't even need to like draw on a Zerjake or preparation or anything, because he could just do Auctioneer Deadly Poison next turn.
Yep.
Well, if he gets an Auctioneer.
Yeah. But it's a big enough threat to like keep the game going in his favor.
You definitely don't attack with dagger here, right?
Right.
No,
right.
no.
Yeah, no. Because you might want to draw your Auctioneer and Deadly Poison.
Let me ask you this: if your opponent plays another Azure Drake here, is there merit next turn to using Leroy and Blade Flurry? Because you don't have
I wouldn't do that because that's using all of your cards, and you kind of want to have a couple of your spells in your hand for when you draw.
Here's the only thing I'm thinking about is that Amaz's hand has been really good so far, and he's still got 5 cards in his hand, so threats aren't going to stop getting cranked out.
Yeah.
How worried are you about not being able to kill him in time?
It's not a matter of him not being able to kill Amaz in time. It's a matter of him drawing into his draw, basically. So his Azure Drake and Auctioneer. he needs to remove every creature that Amaz plays every turn while drawing through his entire deck. Then he'll be able to overwhelm him with you know, stuff like the 3/3s.
Okay.
And Auctioneer, possibly. Ooh. This might make the game a race.
Yeah, it could be.
He has, what, 18 damage in his hand, and he has 6 damage on board now. That's huge. So if Amaz doesn't have any taunts...
Well, he has the Ancient of Lore to gain some life.
He does.
He has another Azure in hand, of course.
But Gnimsh doesn't know this.
Yeah, yeah. I think Gnimsh in this case, he knows that he kind of got off to a slow start. I think he is going to go for racing. Like,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't think he's going to kill this Yeti. It's like, it's
Well,
dirty to kill
I
it.
don't think killing a Yeti is a question. It's a matter if he uses his deadly poison right now.
9.
And I think
Well,
he
you have
should.
the Blade Fury. So I like see not using it possibly, like attack, redagger,
you know
and
what?
save it for another turn, because you're not killing him next turn.
Yeah,
It's going to take another turn after that.
I
for
think
sure.
you use the deadly poison.
You actually might be able to kill him next turn, right?
Yeah, if you
Yeah.
draw Cold Blood, you for sure have it.
Because he deals
Oh,
6
yeah.
damage.
Yeah,
with
yeah,
an-
You use the deadly poison right now. Oh, I think this is incorrect.
I see his thought process behind it, though. I see the thought process, but I think you're right on that, yeah.
Yeah, he just missed potential lethal, depending on Amaz's hand. But I guess he's assuming that Amaz has at least a heal or a taunt in his hand.
And he does. He has heal, 2 heals that he could use.
I'm actually very surprised that Gnimsh has been able to recover and
Yeah.
potentially win, actually.
The Eviscerate was everything, drawing
Yeah.
that Eviscerate right there. That really helped him to turn this around.
And Amaz playing the Azure Drake over Yeti was kind of a factor in that.
Yeah. 'Cause he didn't need it to draw anything. He
Yeah,
had
his
curve
hand
developed.
was very
Yeah.
good. Now, Maz really thinking hard about this one. Being at 16 with that type of board out, he's definitely going to do something.
Yeah, if there's one deck that can compete with a Druid with a Wild Growth, that's Miracle Rogue.
Which life gain do you like playing this turn? Because he's definitely going to play one.
I like the lore because if he does the Farseer, he has no good follow-up turn. I mean, he can do, Keeper of the Grove or Blood Mage Hero Power, but that doesn't really do anything to this board, right? So may as well get the expensive one out of your hand right now.
Yeah, that makes
And
sense.
the stronger one, in fact.
Oh, it actually chooses not to.
Oh, he's setting up for lethal.
Oh, wow.
That's pretty smart.
Ah.
So he has, what, 8, 12, 14, 17 damage on board, and then 18 with the hero power.
Wow.
6, 12.
Hey,
Wait.
Whoa.
That's game.
Yep. Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Gnimsh pulled it off.
That was
Wow. I was like, something doesn't look right here. My brain's telling me that this game's actually over. Like, brain, you're stupid. This is not over yet.
crazy. Well, it certainly is. So Gnimsh going to tie it with Amaz.
Wow.
I really, when I saw the openers, I thought for sure Amaz was going to be able to take this.
I can't believe that Gnimsh won this game.
Yeah. I think it all comes down to getting that Eviscerate. That was such an important
Oh,
point.
look at him go all the way around.
No,
Whoa.
just right
Oh.
through. Gnimsh don't care.
Gnimsh has balls.
Yeah. All right.
Wow.
It's
Miracle
Miracle from
Rogue.
Gnimsh. Does Amaz use Priest or does he use Hunter?
Hunter.
Gotta be Hunter.
I think it's got. You don't want to play
I
Priest.
think so. I've never
Yeah.
seen a Priest deck beat a Miracle deck, so.
Well, I know Amaz hates that matchup. Like,
Yeah.
he thinks it's really bad, so it's gotta be Hunter.
Yeah.
I would imagine, but if he gets eliminated without using his Priest in the series, he may regret it.
You know, I want to touch on
This
how
is true.
on how important both the draws were in this scenario.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, Amaz opened up with a turn 1 Yeti, which is obviously very lucky, and then he drew something to continue pressing that damage, and then he took a lot of damage from it. Gnimsh did, but then he drew Sap, and then Amaz. This is where the critical turn came in.
Yeah.
You were saying you wanted to play Yeti instead of Azure Drake. And honestly, I agreed with that. And one of the reasons I agreed is because he didn't need to develop his hand at all.
Yep.
He already has his curve fully going. So even that Eviscerate would have dealt him 4 more damage. That might have swayed the game a little bit.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It would have gotten a dagger charge out of his hand as well.
Yeah. That's a big deal.
It was crazy. He was really down to the wire, and it looks
All
like
right, game
Amaz
over.
will, in fact, use his Hunter deck.
All right, this is super important, guys. This is going to determine who moves on to the semifinals.
And, you know, Amaz did change his Hunter deck a little bit over the course of the days. It's just like a very aggro, rushy Hunter.
Look at these mulligans. Is this really what Gnimsh is thinking about? Okay.
He's keeping the gap. He's keeping the Auctioneer.
Keeping the Auctioneer against a Hunter deck. Do you like that, Tides?
Yeah, I'd always keep Auctioneer against any deck, actually.
Okay.
It was weird to me that he was thinking about keeping the Azure Drake at first.
I've heard some pros say that they like to throw back Gajizen sometimes against Rush Hunter.
It's justifiable if you have like Cold Light in your deck, but then again, against Rush Hunter, you don't want them draw cards. I don't know. I'd keep Auctioneer.
Okay. Well, he does play one Cold Light. That's all.
He plays 2 Farseers and 2 SA Agents.
Yeah.
Yeah, keep the Auctioneer
Couple
for sure.
things.
He has 4 strong 3-drops that he wants, right?
That is not
Not
the
a
2
great
draws that Amaz wanted to see right now. There's 2 cards he doesn't want to see in this matchup. One of them's Buzzard, and another one is Unleash. And, well, he's got, and then the third one to a lesser extent, I think, is Hunter's Mark. So he's got half of his dead cards in his opening hand.
You play Thalnos here, I think.
I think so
I
as well.
really like dropping Thalnos against Rush Hunter right away.
Agreed. Most of the time, I think it's proper to play Hero Power in turn 2 as a rogue over like any 2-drop. But against a Hunter, for sure, you want Thalnos. It also creates the threat of like being able to Shiv, for 2 damage and create or killing a Crocolisk or a Boar, for example.
Oh, wow.
That's rough right there.
Yeah.
That is a good Huffer roll. Well, I mean, he can kill it off. It's not fun to kill it off, though. He has to use the coin to do so.
Yeah, he has 2 options: Thalnos, Shiv, or Farseer. Farseer applies a bit more pressure because if he Farseers now, next turn he can do Thalnos, Shiv,
Yeah,
because
that's
he's
true.
obviously not going to trade the Boar into the 3/3, right?
Yeah, actually, I like what you're saying there because he already has the Auctioneer in hand. He has a coin in hand. I think that actually would have been a very nice play. And it uses his mana just so efficiently.
Touching on what you were saying, Tides, this is one of the reasons why it's so important to play that turn 2 Blood Mage, is because Hunter does not have a lot of ways to deal with it, and it's
Exactly.
so important to be able to follow up with an extra point of spell damage.
Yeah.
And if for no other reason, just to have a point of damage that draws a card on the board
Dude,
is
it-
extremely
The
important.
amount of times that you'll see a Blood Mage run into a Leper Gnome or something.
Yeah.
You know, it definitely does happen. So, kind of a weird play there by Gnimsh. But you know what? He's at 24. He's got some life gain in his hand. He's got Shadow Step to ramp that up even if he needs to.
I think he's feeling good about this game.
Yeah, for sure.
Maz,
That
on
is
the
an
other hand,
interesting draw. He has 2 Buzzards on board, so he could draw 3 if he keeps it right now. But he might be tempted to just Boar and kill the Thalnos and Leper Gnome Hero Power.
Yeah, that's definitely a possibility. I feel like with double Buzzard, how dead that is against this deck, generally speaking, saving it for this. Oh, wow.
Huh.
Yeah, that is one way to go about it. Using the freezing trap for Thanos is a bit questionable. but
Yeah.
it does prevent the Miracle Rogue from drawing a bit.
You know, I'm a little bit confused about that. I don't really like using that freezing trap there. He is playing 2 of them, so that's something at least.
Well, Gnimsh is about to start taking very heavy control of this game.
Backstab, 2 Farseers, Shadow Step. That's like, yeah, that's this Hunter's worst nightmare, and he had a pretty bad opening to draw.
Yeah.
Well, does he
So-
draw 3 cards this turn?
I think you have to, and I think you even use.
I don't see anything else I like. Yeah,
Yeah,
the Hunter's Mark, actually, I like that. That's quite nice.
that's his only play. And the 2 Buzzards are a threat, so it slows down the Rogue a bit,
But
possibly.
he does have that Fan of Knives in hand, right?
Yeah,
So-
but you don't know that.
yeah, yeah.
It's possible that it slows him down.
You have to play against the range.
Of course.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll see. Amaz just kind of thinking it out. I mean, other than that, there's not many good plays here.
Yeah. What are his alternatives? Does he have any alternatives?
I mean, you could use like a kill command, but then that doesn't even fit because it's like, what, you kill command this 3/3 and then go for hero power or a leper gnome? Ugh, pretty weak.
Taking his time, considering all of his options, playing very calmly. I like that.
Well,
2 more cards. These are important. Oh.
not really the greatest stuff to
Okay.
see.
Okay. That one's not so bad.
Yeah.
We have some damage rolling now.
All right. So, Gnimsh, I don't think he's going to care about that at all.
So do you auction your backstab here, or do you just Phantom Knives and Hero Power?
I really like
Well,
this.
I think
one,
you think about it,
Phantoms.
is what I think.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but-
you think about it.
You definitely, he did that pretty quickly.
Gnimsh was pretty happy about killing them.
At my first thought, though, I do like doing that. It digs you 1 deeper. You can weapon up and then just pass. And next turn can be pretty sick.
Yep.
Gnimsh is feeling pretty confident at 25 life with +6 health in his hand with
Yeah.
Farseer
But
Shadow Step.
with these 3 extra draws, this hand is suddenly turned into an actual Hunter hand.
It has.
It's getting started a little late, but it's not really going to change things. I would love to see.
I love this.
Yeah, I like Leper Gnome here a
Well
lot.
played.
That's way better than Wolf Rider.
Yep.
So that is like 4 damage compared to the Wolf Rider, which will probably just be 3.
Yeah, that hero power, you want to hero power as much as possible right now. Because he's high in mana and low in cards.
Yep.
Get that extra damage in.
You like just going right into Auctioneer here?
Yeah, because you can draw at least 2 off of it. And then it potentially draws you into your other Shadow Step or lethal damage with Leroy.
Yeah. The other thing it does is it starts forcing your opponent's hand. Like if your opponent has a kill command this Auctioneer, you are not upset with that. You have more than enough damage just to keep putting pressure on him. This Deadly Poison is going to be 6 more damage that's coming to him.
Yeah.
All of these things really come into account, and with the way that Amaz has been so choked on cards, he's going to be reluctant to use a kill command on this, but frankly, I don't know if he's going to have another option.
Yeah, that's very true. I think he's going to have to.
Oh, jeez.
Very nice. Draw a few cards.
That is interesting.
Oh,
Preparation before Deadly Poison. I don't think I'd ever do that.
Yeah, I think that's incorrect as well. You eviscerate here, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Shiv has its merits because it brings you closer to Leroy, but yeah.
It's actually being maybe a little bit greedy there. All right, so finishes up this turn with 9 in hand. Pretty awesome.
Both Shiv and Eviscerate are justifiable. It entirely depends on what he draws and what his opponent has, actually. I would attack there because you're not going to be attacking creatures, right?
No,
here's the
not.
only thing I think is he drew the Blade Flurry, so I think he wants to use the second poison on the Blade Flurry.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I think it's
okay. He does have Deadly
Poison.
Poison. Okay, never mind.
Yeah,
Wow,
I mean,
look
not
at how
bad.
much damage this is, though. This
That
is
is a
4, 7. This is 10 damage right here, and then this is gonna be close. You know, I would leave it tracking here, and if you get Leroy, I think you YOLO it.
Huh.
This is an interesting turn. Yeah, I would lead with tracking because your play after that is Wolf Rider hero power. Then you kill him with the next play.
Oh my gosh.
Ooh, misdirection is really good.
Yeah, that feels pretty nice.
But he does have to deal with that Auctioneer.
The Deadly Shot actually does seem a little bit better now that I think about it, because if he gets enough to actually end up killing him.
Deadly Shot simply, kills the Auctioneer. It doesn't do really anything else. If he leaves the Auctioneer on board, he's probably going to draw into the rest of his deck. It's a very tough choice.
Here's what I'm thinking about, is that my opponent's drawn so many cards off Auctioneer. Do I need to stop him from drawing more cards, or do I need to try to kill him? That's my thought process here. So
Does that mean that you would go with Misdirection?
I don't know. I have to really think about it.
It's a tough one.
Yeah.
Don't forget he has no beasts for that kill command. So the Timberwolf, I think, probably not ever going to take that there, but you have to think about it for a second.
Well, if you're going to play Misdirection, I don't think you play Wolf Rider. I have to say that.
You think just hero power there?
Yeah.
Well, I see what he's doing there. I mean, at least that's going to die no matter what if he attacks.
He still draws, isn't he?
Or maybe not no matter what, but
I guess Amaz wants to kill him next turn. He's just going for the kill. It makes sense, I guess. Because now he has 2/3 mana cards that deal damage and plus hero power. That's what 7, 9, 12.
God.
12 damage, and if Misdirect works, he gets 4 damage.
Yeah, actually, this is really looking like Amaz is going to take this.
I don't think Amaz is going to take it because he has the Farseer in his hand.
That's true, but he's not playing it. I think he has to play it now, right? Has to just play it and pass.
Well, I think the first thing he has to do is attack.
Do you think so?
Not necessarily. At this point, the way he played it, he doesn't want to attack.
Yeah.
Because it'll only bring the hunter closer to lethal. He just wants to have lethal next turn.
Because it gives the extra 3 damage on that
I see
weapon.
what you're saying.
Yeah, I think right here, you pass this.
Yeah.
And then
You're
you can attack with your SI7 and
right.
figure it out from there.
That is interesting. Amaz is kind of like playing mind games. Like the 4/1 Auctioneer, he might think it's explosive right now.
Well, I'm going to draw a card. I don't think you
I
say
mean,
this
it's
for conceal.
7, 10,
Yeah, you have to draw a
12.
card here.
yeah.
And playing Arcano Golem is so bad here because at every
Yeah.
point of mana with that amount of cards against a Miracle Rogue is
9 mana is
Insane.
where Leroy does like 22, so.
yeah. Ooh,
Actually,
decent draw.
yeah, that's not so bad.
Yeah, I think you unleash and... You know, I still think you use hero power, honestly,
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
instead of kill command.
I agree. I mean, you get rid of the Ad Auctioneer, which is possible damage that would have been incoming. You have another target for... no, well, it's misdirection, so that doesn't matter, but... Yeah. If he draws like a Stone Tusk Boar, that's 9, 10. Plus he's doing 3 this turn. Then 1 attack.
Does Amaz
If
have
the
a
misdirection hits Gnimsh, he can definitely
Yeah, misdirection
definitely
is
has
like
possibility of winning this game.
the only way
Amaz
Amaz can win.
Amaz
right
has
now.
a bow left in his deck, right?
Yeah, he still has 1 bow left in his deck. What, you want him to attack?
Maybe. Like,
Well, he doesn't have 2 turns,
Yeah,
right?
that's what I'm saying. Are you
Yeah.
going to get 2 turns?
That's true. That's probably a good point. Wow, that's really. Is he going to play? Oh, wow.
Wow.
I think this is actually the proper play by Maz.
Really?
Any other play gives him like pretty much 0% chance of winning because he knows that Gnimsh has a Farseer in his hand, so he has +3 health, which is very significant in this matchup because with +3 health, he's completely out of lethal range within the next 2 turns. So this possibly gives him Amaz lethal next turn if he gets like Buzzard, maybe?
Leroy?
I'm not sure. Leroy?
Yeah.
Yeah, Leroy.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. No, it's only 11. Wait, no, 6 plus 4 on the. Yeah, that would give him lethal.
Yep.
Yeah.
And yeah, the misdirection does damage potentially.
Yeah, this misdirection is like the scariest thing in the whole world.
Should he attack before backstabbing?
That's a good question. Yeah, I think you're right. I think he should have attacked before backstabbing just to have that as a possibility to hit.
Because he doesn't even know what this trap is yet.
Yeah.
I think he has a good
But
idea
he wants to
of
draw.
what it is, though.
Maybe he wants to draw first.
Yeah,
and
that's
he
true,
doesn't.
too.
He's not sure if he wants to attack yet.
Yep.
He's going to die to fatigue.
How many cards does he have? Oh my god.
4 or 5 left, I think.
Dude, if he plays that Fan of Knives, he's actually going to die to fatigue. It's going to be an easy kill for Maz. I think he has like, is that
Well, he's
2
gotta
cards or
hurry
3
up.
cards left in that deck? It's 1 or the other, I think. Right?
Oh, the secret animation
it
burning
goes.
so much of this rope.
It's not the auctioneer. Oh, 3/3.
Wow.
That's really good for Gnimsh.
Oh my gosh, it's going to come down to this draw.
He didn't use any other spells here to throw that
Did
out.
he get the Leroy?
Oh,
Oh my god. That's 6 plus 4
10 plus 2.
That's game.
Oh my gosh, Amaz has drawn Leroy Jenkins and he's going to win this match.
Whoa,
A 1-outer.
that's crazy.
Unbelievable.
Gnimsh just got top decked. Iron it.
Gnimsh just got gnimshed. Amaz.
That is exact lethal for
Just
exact mana. That is the only card he could have drawn. Oh, Gnimsh is just, look at the look on his face. He knows. He saw where that came out of the hand. Oh my god. Craziness. And Amaz goes to the round of 4 for his 2nd DreamHack in a row.
Oh
my
my
head
God.
is exploding.
Another
That
thing to note,
was so
Gnimsh